school, and I feel like a lot of people don't really get the opportunity, especially in our generation, to actually worship in school. It's a very rare thing because of just like all the secularism that has come out of school. So to be able to go to a Christian school in the first place is really awesome, but to be able to worship God with your peers and even sometimes lead, I've been able to lead worship. It just means so much to me to see my friends worshiping God, and having that opportunity is just, it's an amazing experience, because I just think, man, like this is, nobody really gets to do this, so it's really awesome. So. Well, I really love Hillsong, their music, and I really love Elevation Worship too. Bethel, I really like their songs. My favorite song right now, I think it's probably going to be Tremble by Mosaic. And it's just a really cool song talking about how you're crying out for Jesus and just glorifying His name. And it's a really powerful song. If I would have to choose a style, I'd probably say I guess contemporary style, but more open-ended. It's not necessarily like a hymn. It's more of just a contemporary, open-ended, and more spirit-filled and spirit-driven songs that are not just I guess by the schedule. It's more just you can go where the Spirit wants you to go. So I love to worship. I've worshipped I guess my whole life. I've just loved to sing, and I feel like God has given me the ability to, with instruments, and to be able to sing and stuff. But I just want to use that for Him, and so it's a weird experience to be in front of people and leading worship, because it's you don't really want to mess up, because you feel like people will look at you funny. But I've come to realize that it's not really about if I mess up, and it shouldn't be embarrassing to me if I mess up and if I stumble on some words or a chord or something, because we all should be, and even if people judge me, we should all be worshiping to glorify God and to worship Him. And so it shouldn't really matter if I mess up, and I've had to get through that. So it's kind of, when I first started it was kind of scary, and it was nerve-wracking to be in front of my peers and my friends, and I feel like, what are they going to think of me if I mess up? But I've come to realize that that's not the most important thing when it comes to worship. So, yeah.
What made you want to lead worship?
Well, I think it first started, I've always said, ever since I was little, I've always kind of had an ability to, I don't know, sing. And recently, in the past couple of years, I've really loved instruments, and I've gotten to pretty good at the guitar. But I think one of the reasons why I feel like I need to worship is because it brings me so much joy. And leading worship, and just and it's not really about a feeling, but how it makes me feel, but how it makes me live. And it's just, worship shouldn't be just for 20 minutes in a church service, or 5 minutes in a chapel service. It should be every day. You live and breathe worshiping God, and that might not be through song, and it might not be through standing with the congregation and lifting your hands, but it's worship through your actions, and it's worship through how you speak to people and how you present yourself. So I think worship, it's an interesting concept, because we can worship different things and we don't even realize it. Like, most people worship their technology because they put it before God, and they put it before other things. So when you find yourself putting things before God, you're worshiping that, whether you think of it like that or not. And so I think worship is a really key thing in our lives, because we have to realize that whatever we put in front of God, we're worshiping. We only need to be worshiping God. Okay, so I'm going to play a song called So Will I, by Hillsong. the start before the beginning of time. On a hill you created, endless afar, when in the weather of light. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born in the vapor of your breath. Planets form. If creation seeks to praise you so alive, I can see your heart and everything you've done. Burn now, single fire.